rules are simple. I'm going to be reacting to pro-choice TikToks, and after each one, I'm going to give it a rating from 1 to 10 based on how compelling the argument is. Let's get into it.
If my mom was pregnant with me today, like let's assume like in 2024 in Tennessee, a state with one of the most restrictive abortion laws,
is he going to support his own abortion?
She could not get an abortion, right? In the eyes of the Tennessee government, they believe in the life of the fetus and that life begins at conception. So let's say she gives birth to me, and then 20 years later, I go into kidney failure, and I require a kidney transplant to survive. And my mother is the only viable match on the planet. There is not a single law that would compel her to give one of her kidneys to me. So when pro-lifers get on this app and talk about like the life of the fetus, it's a super disingenuous argument to make because bodily autonomy is widely respected in every other context.
Yeah, so just for the record, I'd give him the kidney if I was the only match in the world. That being said, the analogy still doesn't hold any water. No, his mother's not legally required to give up her kidney, but that's a different situation entirely because motherhood is a very unique situation. And at the end of the day, this is really just an argument from viability. A consistent version of this view would allow for infanticide as well. For example, if a mother no longer wants her 1-year-old baby, should she be required to give it food and attention and care? And the answer is obviously yes. The only difference is the baby being inside of the womb here. More importantly, an abortion is actively killing the fetus, whereas the situation he gave, she's letting him die. And I mean, that's not good either. So like I said, I'd give him the kidney. I'd give this argument a 1 out of 10 just because according to most pro-choicers, men aren't supposed to have a say in abortion. So on to the next. Yes, it does. Oh. Okay, well, let's look at the verses that she actually cited here. Genesis 2:7 supports life beginning at birth. Okay, let's see what it says. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living being. This isn't even about birth. This is about the creation of Adam. Oh my goodness. Another verse that she should probably look at is Jeremiah 1:5, which says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Notice it doesn't say after you came out of the womb, I knew you, right? Like God knew you before you were actually biologically created in the womb. So even before your conception. So that one doesn't hold up. Let's see. What was the other one? The mother's life over the fetus, Exodus 21:22. If men fight and hurt a woman with child so that she gives birth prematurely, yet no harm follows, he shall surely be punished accordingly as the woman's husband imposes on him, and he shall pay as the judges determine. I guess what they're talking about is in the King James version of the same verse, it says specifically so that her fruit depart from her. So I guess they're kind of using this as an argument to say that if a man causes a woman to have a miscarriage, which is obviously a very tragic thing, then he only has to pay a fine, so therefore the Bible supports abortion, which I mean is just not the case. It's talking about a premature birth. Okay, and the last one was Mark 5:25, which she claims is about women making their own choices. Okay, now a certain woman had a flow of blood for 12 years. Huh? This is referring to the story when the woman who was physically afflicted touched Jesus' garments to be healed. I actually don't even see what she's getting at here. I literally can't even make the connection. I'm just going to give this argument a 1 out of 10. I have a feeling she probably didn't even read the verses before she made this TikTok, but okay, on to the next one.
If abortion isn't murder, why is it double homicide to kill a pregnant woman?
Good question.
This is actually really easy to explain with a simple analogy.
Enlighten me.
Let's say you're renting a 2-bedroom apartment with a roommate. You walk into your bedroom, you look around, you think things are kind of cluttered. So you pack a box of stuff, you drive it down to Goodwill, and you donate the box. The next day, you walk into your roommate's bedroom. You look around at your roommate's stuff. You think things are really cluttered in here. So you pack a box of their stuff, you drive it down to the Goodwill, and you donate the box. Have you committed a crime? Yeah, you just stole your roommate's belongings. Although you committed the same action 2 days in a row, driving a box of stuff to Goodwill, only one of those instances was a crime. In the same sense, a pregnant person consenting to the ending of the development of their pregnancy via a medical procedure is not a crime. It is not murder. But a violent criminal deciding to end the life of a pregnant person and thereby ending the development of that pregnancy, that is committing a crime.
Right, so this analogy doesn't really make a lot of sense. She's equating children to clutter, which is illogical. But this stems from the root of the child in one case is wanted and the child in the other case is not wanted. So basically, if the child is wanted, then it's wrong to kill it. If the child is not wanted, it's okay. It implies that the value of the human life is based on whether or not it is wanted, which is a very dangerous position to hold. It really doesn't make a lot of sense because it also implies that it matters who kills the child, which is completely illogical. I'm going to give this argument a 1 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully next time we can get some more compelling pro-choice arguments. If you ended up liking the video, consider subscribing. It's free and you can always unsubscribe later. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.